Hello everyone, and welcome back to another literary tea review. This is a series where I do reviews of different literary teas that Simpson and Vail has in their literary tea collection. So today we are going to talk about the Jane Austen tea. So today I thought I would do something a little bit different than how I did it last time. I thought that it would be a little bit fun if we sort of looked at the tea and then tried the tea while I talked a little bit about Jane Austen and some of her works. So let's first take a look at this tea. This is a black tea blend. The ingredients are black teas, spearmint, lavender, and vanilla. The loose tea smells just like delightful. You're getting some of that black tea, but the lavender and the spearmint are really coming through. And then you're also getting some like creamy sweet vanilla in there. It just smells absolutely wonderful. So Jane Austen was born in 1775 and she died in 1817. She wrote a couple of novels. Most notably, we have Pride and Prejudice, which I have my copy of over here. She wrote Sense and Sensibility, Mansfield Park, Emma, Persuasion, and Northanger Abbey. And she does have a couple of others, but those are the most well-known, particularly Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, and Emma are her most famous because there's a lot of movies made after those. Ooh, that's very good. This is really good. This is like, it's very light, but it has a nice lavender flavor. It's not overpoweringly lavender or floral, so it's, in my opinion, lavender can go very soapy, and it's not like that at all. It's very light, but it has like a nice mintiness and some creaminess in there. That's really good. So the thing that's really interesting about Jane Austen is that oftentimes people think that she wrote romances and that she was a romance author, but that's not really true. Jane Austen really was writing about English society, and that happened to involve marriage because marriage was a very big part of English society. So in our modern mindset, we think of her as a romance novelist because she wrote about marriage and relationships, but really when she was thinking of her work, she thought of it as a commentary on manners and society, and that did include marriage, but it wasn't for the sake of romance, it was for the sake of a commentary on what life was like. She's very famous for writing novels that are very empowering to women. You know, we think of the archetype of Lizzie Bennet and how that really inspired so many strong female characters. She greatly believed in writing strong female characters who were feminine. One thing that I just absolutely love about her novels is that her characters are so strong. Her characters are empowered, but they're not masculine, and there isn't this blurring the lines of strength means masculinity. For her, her characters are strengthened through their femininity, and I really appreciate that. One thing that is really fun for me as someone who has a sister, she was very close with her sister Cassandra. In fact, Cassandra was always so supportive of her writing and her endeavors, and they were not only considered like just very good for siblings, but they considered each other like best friends. I'm like gonna have to buy more of this. This is amazing. Definitely, I think that this tea goes along with Jane Austen very well, and I can definitely see how her writing sort of inspired this blend. It is elegant, but it has an air of like sophistication to it. It's just amazing. Definitely the first thing that you're getting is the lavender, and then that's kind of backed up by some mintiness. And then you're getting that vanilla and the aftertaste. It's very lightly sweet from the vanilla, but not like a sugary sweetness, just kind of ending on like a lighter note. So there's a quote from Northanger Abbey that I just thought that I would share because I think that it is just so fun. But maybe if you don't like reading books, you want to skip it because she's gonna talk about you. But she says, "The person, be it gentleman or lady, who has not pleasure in a good novel must be intolerably stupid." I think that's wonderful. One thing that's very interesting about Jane Austen is that she was basically the first novelist of her time in terms of fiction novels written in that kind of mindset of this is completely fictional, but it tells a interesting and compelling narrative. And Jane Austen is very much considered like the first sort of more modern or pre-modern novelist. Her work was very new at the time because printing was just starting to become popular and inexpensive. It wasn't as expensive as it used to be because paper wasn't as expensive. So her novels were very interesting because they were some of the first to be very widely dispersed. Books at the time, because they were such a commodity, they were so hard to come by, were almost always informative. They were talked about religion or politics or science, and so having a novel was very rare. Usually works of entertainment were verbally passed on, because for something that's just entertainment, you can't spend so much money just to be entertained. So her novels are really unique in that they were some of the first that were purely for entertainment's sake. So that is my look at the Jane Austen tea, as well as a little bit into Jane Austen's life and about some of her works. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informational. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe down below. If you are familiar with Jane Austen at all, let me know in the comments down below what your favorite novel by her is. I've actually only ever read Pride and Prejudice. I haven't ever read any of the other ones. I think it was BBC did a mini series of Sense and Sensibility that was really good, but I haven't actually read the novel, which is definitely something that I need to do. But I'm not sure if this is true anymore. I need to really examine it because I haven't thought about it for a little while. But for a while, my favorite book was Pride and Prejudice. I love Pride and Prejudice so much. But anyway, that is all for now. So as always, happy sipping.